All right. What is up, my dudes? Welcome to Kick Push Gulf Coast for another episode. So, what is this show? It's really just a chance for me to sit down with skaters from around the coast, like Chris Carrubba here, and other skateboarders, and really talk to them, see what's on our minds, and like really, it's meant for us to be a community online to talk and have like a voice about what's going on. Updates come through this show, good questions. We do some interviews. We give some announcements as well, but we really just want us to be informed and everyone to know the state of the roll around the Gulf Coast. So that's why we started up this podcast, and we hope that you would join us if you haven't subscribed yet, which we see we're getting pretty decent numbers of people viewing our show, but we want to make sure that you're subscribed so you can join that community and be a part of us. So we're going to go through a couple of quick announcements here. So first of all, I'm going to do a recap. We did the Christmas parade just a week or two ago, and we got to hand out these flyers. And it's kind of a flyer that's telling people what we do. And so all of our announcements kind of are on this flyer too. So first of all, we got our youth skate clinics, which I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit about that in a sec. But our first one of the year will be 10 January. We start at 1 p.m. and what it really is just a chance for the kids to come and skate and like have their opportunity to skate the park where it's just the time is focused on them. There's some adult skate mentors who are seasoned skaters, and they'll come out there and volunteer their time and just come out and skate and kind of guide and show the ropes a little bit to the new skaters. So I think that this is going to be a pretty big turnout for this first one of the year in particular, because a lot of kids they got a skateboard for Christmas and it was under the tree. Maybe Santa brought it or something. So I'm really excited to see who will show up for that. But bring your helmet, bring your parents, bring a friend, bring your new skateboard, come out to the youth skate clinics. Then we want to make sure everyone knows about every Wednesday night we do a weekly skate meetup. The one that we do here in Biloxi is at the Biloxi DIY Skate Park, and we do it at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. That's every Wednesday, unless like it's extremely bad weather, in which don't go in the middle of a hurricane, dog. But otherwise, everyone's welcome. It's an all-inclusive environment, and we have a lot of fun. We play some music, and we just jam and skate. Sometimes we do some announcements to make sure people know about the events we got going on. And it's a great way to be a part of our community. So maybe if you got a skateboard or you just got one for the first time in a long time for Christmas, come out, come skate.
For sure.
Then our last one, which is the one I'm really stoked about, we have the Gulf Coast Skateparks Champions Tour. So this is something totally new that we're doing for this next year. It's super ambitious. Our goal is to connect with all the skaters around the Gulf Coast and to have another outlet for us to highlight the talent that's on the coast. And so the tour, we have like 10 different stops. The first one is going to be at Waterboys in Pensacola. So it'll be January 17th, and people are already signing up. So if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and click that sign up genius. Spots are running out and they're limited. So once they're gone, they're gone. So the reason you want to sign up is because one, that Game of Skate tournament, $25 gets you in, but there's $300 up for grabs to that tournament. So if you think you got it to beat out a bunch of people in a game of skate, come on out. And then we'll be doing a best trick contest, and the winner of that contest will roll into and have a seat automatically given to them to the finals, which is Skating the Coast in October. And so the cool thing about Skating the Coast is we're giving out $1,000 for that contest. Don't miss it. All right, so anything else? Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. That was a lot, though.
Yeah. So we got a couple of things that are happening. It's an exciting year, and whether you're a core skater, a returning skater, a casual skater, or a new skater, there's something for you at any of our events. So come out and hang out and be a part of the community. But if you want to be informed on all that, please make sure to stay tuned to our social media. Cool. That's the announcements.
There we go.
All right, so let's roll into it. So Chris,
Tyler.
what's that?
Tyler.
Yeah, what up, dude?
What up?
So I met you at the DIY, and you came out a couple of times, but I wanted to ask you from your perspective, because this is almost 2-3 years ago that I met you.
I was thinking about that because we're in the second full year of being an organization, and we started I guess it was middle of January 2022, right?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Or yeah.
I think that's about the timeline. So leading up to that, how did you hear about the skate park, or how did you find out about it?
It had to have just been on the Gulf Coast Skaters page because I hadn't really been skating that long. I had tried several times throughout the year and just never was something I could stick with. And then, you know, I joined that Facebook page after I got another board. And I guess it was just a post I saw about y'all meeting down there. When I went there, it was like 2 ramps and a rail, you know?
Yep.
It was humble beginnings,
Yes.
but it was good, you know, and I think we had started right when it was first winter as well. So it was getting dark early, and, you know, not many people were out there, but it was a pretty good close-knit community in it.
So what got you to get that board and get back into skate? Or did you get back into skating, or was it getting into skating?
I mean, I could always ride one as a mode of transportation. I could never really ollie or anything like that. And I think I was in my early to mid 30s, and I was sitting there playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 because the remake had just come out, you know, like the year before or something. And I was like, I really want to do that. And if I don't do it now, I'm not going to be able to much longer. And so I pulled out this old rusted element deck I had in my parents' garage, hopped on that thing, you know, was liking it, got into it, decided to, you know, buy a board with an actual setup that wasn't rusted and falling apart. And, you know, I tried the best I could to make progress in my driveway with setting up obstacles or ramps and stuff like that. And it just never really could take off. And so when the DIY started, that's when it really kind of began for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you learn how to kickflip with us at the park?
Oh, yeah.
So but prior to that, because I've seen you kickflip and I've seen you 50-50. So those things were things that you could, like, you had never done.
Yeah. I mean, when I got to the park, I had an ollie, and that was about it.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's so sick, man. It's like some deep lore that I wanted to pull out of you, dude. Because
There you
like,
go.
I know that I know that. I guess when I saw you, I just figured you'd always, you know, it sounds like you always been
Kicked
skating,
around,
but
yeah.
like, dude, that's so sick. You've been growing, and like, when I say that we're like for everyone and like a returning skateboarder, like I think you like are the epitome of that. And I don't think I realized all that other backstory. I just remember you kept always showing up with the ledge. And then eventually it was like, hey, we're trying to do this thing and I need help. And I asked you if you would be on the board of directors as the treasurer. And so
Here I am.
yeah. And we've been doing this thing over 2 years. So what do you do for work?
I work in an insurance office. The office manager, I service customers and, you know, schedule meetings and make sales and stuff like that.
Did you go to college?
I did, not for that. I went to Mississippi State University for political science. So, I mean, insurance is one of those things that no one ever really plans to do.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like you happen into it. And I think anybody that works in insurance will tell you that. You're not in high school going, I can't wait to sell insurance when I get older. Which,
Yeah.
but it's, you know, it's a good career to have, and it's, you know, the people I work with I like, and my boss is good. So,
To be honest, man, I think it's kind of serendipity that you have a political science background and an insurance background, because I never realized how much of those things are really required to run a nonprofit and to try and advocate in your local community. And I think you've several times given really good wisdom on the way things may be perceived or how we can or can't proceed. And I think you've also been diligent when we have like paperwork to do or you know, expectations to meet. And I think it probably comes back to that background, bro. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it helps.
yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to, that puzzle piece fit for us.
Yeah.
know?
And I think it's kind of like we have a diverse crew on the board.
Absolutely.
I think that you're absolutely that. So, where did you go to college?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. Okay.
Yeah.
How was there any skateboarding like going down at the college?
I had mentioned before that I picked it up a couple times off and on, and if anybody's been to Mississippi State, so college was one of those times I tried to pick it up. I thought, hey, this is going to be a great time for me to commute from to class, which, not the best of ideas, trying to learn how to really skate and navigate. Because, if I could ride, yeah, sure, but cracks and curbs and stuff, that was all something I needed to work on. So one day, and it was that element that I told you about that I pulled out of the garage. And if you've ever been to Mississippi State, you know where the I think it was the Sanderson Center, the gym there, and the stadium. It's on top of this really tall parking lot with a giant hill. And so I pulled up in my parking spot, my little Mazda 6 that I had, put on my book bag and pulled my skateboard out of the hatchback. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go to class. And I threw the skateboard down on that hill and started going down. And within 5 seconds, I ate it. Just completely hit the concrete and just rolled. And I didn't keep going after that.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the times I gave up. And if I'd have just stuck with it then, or if I'd have stuck with it when I was a teenager or younger, always shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I think though it comes into your life at the right time. But I think the other piece that I don't hear in your story is, did you have anyone you were skating with like at the time, or was it literally just you going solo, riding?
No. So when I had found the DIY, I was posting on that Gulf Coast Skaters. That page was dead back then. No one really posted on it. So I was like, does anybody, adults in the area, want to get together and skate, learn together? You could probably still go through and see the archived post from 2022 or 21, whenever it was. But yeah, and then it just, not many people were really talking on it. And then the meetups happened and the activity blossomed from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the key difference. I think that's why you're probably having so much more fun, and maybe it's a little bit more fulfilling, is because you have a group of people that you like being around, you're skating. And I think that skateboarding is a social sport, in meaning like when you learn your kickflip, your 50-50, or whatever trick you're working on, you want your boys to be around you, your friends to be around you, and see it happen. I think that's why we take videos, because we want to show off, it's not I'm trying to show off, it's like I'm trying to celebrate with my friends the success of overcoming these challenges. And when you do that by yourself, it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
Or if you take a nasty spill and ain't no one there to make sure you're good,
right,
like down a hill at Mississippi State. I think it makes sense that you're part of the community and you're having fun now, man.
That's one of the reasons it was important for me to make it work. The opportunity it provided me is the opportunity that a lot of people have, and it's usually going to be people in a younger age bracket that we're probably going to influence, but it's important. Like if I had something like this when I was in college or when I was a teenager, I would have stuck with it. I think that when I was a teenager, that's right when the Harrison County skate park was just kind of starting to close down. And it's and when you're younger in that age range too, I lived in Long Beach, and the Harrison County skate park might as well have been in the next state over, Just
when you're a kid.
So
I feel that. I grew up in an area where to go to a real skate park, I had to travel an hour. In any direction from where I lived in Florida. But my family, it's funny, the skills carried over to today, that we just built DIY stuff at the house, and we had a wraparound porch. It was concrete.
Yeah.
And so we got to skate that, and I would, RIP to all mom's rose bushes and everything around, but we would skate that porch sun up, sundown.
Yeah.
And then we found an abandoned basketball court, and then the rest was history. We would take our stuff over there and sometimes bring it back, and kind of very similar to the DIY we got here, where it's all made by someone and put out there.
So did you ever have any periods in your life where you didn't get to skate, or are you pretty much consistently since you picked it up?
So there have been times where it was harder to skate, and what I mean by that is I got a Pikachu board for Christmas one year. That was one of those crappy, from Walmart plastic trucks. And then, of course, it got left in the rain. And then later on, my cousin Dylan, he got a real Element skateboard, or a real board or Element skateboard or something. And then I really wanted one. And then my parents tried to get me a board, and they got me it was a Crown board, and I don't know if that's even a real skate company or if it was back then, but it was just one up from a generic board, and it wasn't the greatest. But that's kind of what got me started, and I worked on it, then I got a almost. And then from that point, I'm trying to think I don't know if I really had any big breaks where I wasn't skating. I got into high school and I really blew up in skateboarding because I found other people in high school who skated. It wasn't just me and my cousin anymore, and they knew how to tray flip, hard flip, heel flip, like all the flips. And I was still learning. It took me years to finally get a varial kick flip. I was the last one to learn flip tricks out of my group of friends.
Yeah.
Then I joined the Air Force, and then I think that enabled me to skate at parks all over the world because now I'm an adult with adult money, and I can go continue and enjoy this this hobby. And I made friends all over doing it. The only times that I took breaks from it was when I twisted my ankle so bad I couldn't skate, and so where like most recovery time I had like was 4 months. But no, I don't feel like there's been a time I haven't skated. I think it's kind of slowed down a little bit since I have a kid.
Yeah.
But luckily, we've created a system where every Wednesday night we go out to the skate park, so I still get to skate every week at least.
It's already scheduled. You got to.
Yeah, I wish I could do it more, but you have priorities. I'm sure you know, man.
Yeah.
Have priorities in your life, and you want to. I don't want, as much as I love skateboarding and helping the community, my family's always first, and so it might be just one Wednesday a month, or excuse me, one Wednesday a week I get to skate. If it's really awesome, maybe it's twice a week. I got a mini ramp in the backyard. Sometimes I'll session that, and once a month or something, I'll go out and skate in another city, which is why I'm so excited about the tour.
Yeah.
It's kind of also a little selfish of me, but
this alone is probably going to double the amount of skating you get to do. So
yes.
Look at it that way.
Yeah, it's a little selfish of me because I know that when I do this stuff, I drag along a lot of people, but at the same time, I don't feel bad because I know that they probably want a reason to go skate.
Yeah.
And so it's a good one, I think. But yeah. So we were talking about the youth skate clinics a little bit, and you're talking about helping out with the youth. And if y'all don't know it, Chris is a huge reason that the youth skate clinics have been so successful. Has there been a moment that stuck out to you since you started doing them that just like kind of is I don't know if it's the reason you do it, or is there a significant skate story from skating out there with the kids that sticks with you?
Not really. It kind of relates back to what I'd said about not having the proper channels or places to feel welcome to do it. And I've always been, there was a time in my life for a long time where I thought I was going to be a teacher. I just like passing on that education, or helping the next generation. But, in order for, and I say this all the time, so people probably get sick of hearing it from me, but if we want people to help us complete our mission and get a skate park built, they're going to have to see kids using that park. They're going to have to see the next generation interested into it. They're not going to give a bunch of 30-year-olds the money we need to build this park. Simple truth of the matter. And it's important to me, regardless of that, though. You'd go out on a Wednesday and you always see so many kids out there, but they're on the sidelines, kind of, not wanting to get in people's way, because you got people just screaming down the middle of the park to do a tray flip across the pyramid or something. Yeah. And it's intimidating. So the purpose of those, the Saturday sessions twice a month, on average, is to give them a space and time to where they don't need to feel like they're getting in anyone's way. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they can't come down on the Wednesdays. They're not welcome or anything like that. But it's, it's harder for them.
Yeah, it's the reality. There's been a couple times where we get a new skater come in and they're just so excited to skate. And I know that you and I, and there's other people who've done this, so take them out to where there's less people out on that little side road. Not the side road, but there's a path that's underneath the bridge. Yeah. And we'll hey, we got to learn how to ride first, okay? Yeah. Now let's see your kick turns, okay? All right, so do a follow me around the park real quick. And if they got it, then kind of just let them loose and do their thing. But they always want to drop in. They always want to, ride the ramps. And part of what we do at that Saturday session helps it make it to where you come to enough of those, you're gonna feel comfortable coming to a Wednesday night, and you'll know, okay, there's people coming, I gotta look left, right, and then I gotta look inside myself and then go. Before you don't learn that just you can't learn it when all the pressure's on. Everybody's there on Wednesdays. It's just the reality of it.
Our community's so good. I mean, I know I like to do it, and I know you do. When you see a new face come out, regardless of their age, and they're kind of just standing there to the side, you know, it doesn't take long for someone to approach them and, you know, try to get them, you know, feeling comfortable and out on there, ask if they need help or have any questions. I find that, you know, the kids are more likely to take you up on any type of assistance like that, but, you know, we do it for everybody.
Yeah.
We had that one young lady that came out recently that had been on a skateboard like 2 days and just started like chucking herself.
Are you
down
talking about
the half
Zoe?
pipe. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Solomon brought his friend Zoe out, and like, I was stunned, but she's like, "Oh yeah, I used to cheerlead," and she said
Like, that
she
has something to
longboarded
do
a
with
little
it,
bit,
right?
so I was like, "Smokes, dude, you killing it," because she dropped in and just like it just blew everybody's mind.
Yeah, like that was insane. And then, you know, you have kids like Keegan who use that park probably the most out of any kid that comes down there.
Yeah.
And you can tell. He does that one launch ramp to wall ride down the Hubba. And it's just like, I wouldn't try that in a million years. I feel like I'd trip over my feet and fall forward, you know, and he just attacks it, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I think
pretty cool.
about how much like it's going to change so many people's lives. Even the work we've done over the last 2 years is changing people's lives. And I think that you probably, if you had the opportunity to be closer to a skate park and have a board, that, you know, your progression would have been different.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But for me, same thing. Like just having the access to the park and having mentors, we're providing and we do it for free.
Yeah.
All this is for free. We're providing such an incredible service to the city and to kids and to our peers. And I mean, you've heard of the rapper Logic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he wrote a book, and in that book, it's his biography about his life, and he goes into it talking, like he spends the whole first half talking about the most unbelievable, like, upbringing that you couldn't imagine, just so awful, the things that happened to him, that his parents did to him, and like growing up in the hood, growing up like with nothing, and like when he got a little older, he got to go to the skate park, and like that time that he got to go to the skate park was like truly the time that he could be away from his messed up life and escape it for a little bit, but he didn't have enough money to pay for the sessions all the time. And there was a part of the book where he's talking about the lady who worked at the counters would always see him in the window, and one time she went out there and gave him a free pass to come in. I broke down sobbing, crying when I read that part of the book, because it just made me think of, there's kids like, you know, Keegan or any of the kids that show up at the park. You know, you never know what kids are going through.
Yeah.
And what their life is like, and we're giving them that same feeling of like, I belong here, I can escape whatever's going on in my life, I can work through stuff, I can do all, we're providing a gateway to that.
Yeah.
That, you know, in an organized, safe manner.
Yeah. Accessibility is the key, you know. And even the kids that will come down there that live in the neighborhood that don't have skateboards, I always got at least 4 in my trunk, you know, for that very reason.
Yeah.
Can't remember the young guys' names, but it's like 3 brothers. And they'll come down there every once in a while. I'm there, and they'll ask if I have my skateboards in my trunk, and I say, I sure do. And, you know, give them to them, and they just go out and have fun. They pump on the half pipe, skate around the park, you know. So it feels good to be able to make it accessible.
Yeah.
I didn't know Logic skated.
Dude, yeah. He skates. Hold on, let me pull up the book real quick. I got it right here. Yeah, Bobby Hall. So, yeah. So, if you want to borrow it, you can. This Bright Future. He dropped that.
So it's a biography.
Yeah, maybe a few years ago. Yeah, and and I say like he had a mess. I'm trying to be because we're kind of PC on the show. I don't really cuss. I don't care if others do, but in that book, it's like written in his voice and his tone and his style. You got to listen to. I listened to the audiobook while I was reading it as well. And
who reads the audiobook?
What's that?
Who reads the audiobook?
Who reads the audiobook?
Yeah, or who narrates the audiobook?
Bobby.
Oh, okay.
Logic.
Okay.
And so it's even more in his voice of not only his style of writing, but his voice of just talking. And so, but he's going through, I'm telling you, dude, it's unbelievable the messed up stuff that happened in his life. And then he talked about when he got into skateboarding and all the things around that. And like, that was the one like point of joy. Like it really broke me reading that part and just like helped me recenter on how important what we're doing is, because he's a 1 in a million type of guy. You know, there's no, to overcome all that adversity and to make it out the other side. And I know it wasn't, he even talks about in the book, like it's a miracle that he got out of the hood, because most people don't, you know. But anyways, so I just think about a lot of people like that who go through adversity, and programs like what we're doing help. The people who don't fit in, the people who come from all kinds of walks of life, man. Yeah. But yeah, dude, you can borrow that, by the way.
Okay, appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so if money was no barrier, what is something that you would love to see this year?
I mean, the next step, I guess, you know, would be to clear out the DIY spot, move everything to a new spot, and begin construction. I mean, that's the end goal. Because once that happens, our job's kind of done, you know, as far as getting the park built there. We'll still enjoy it. Mm-hmm. We'll still have events there. Skate the hell out of it. But, you know, won't be done, so we'll be doing it to the next spot, but we'll be done with that spot.
Yeah.
And that's the reality that I'm waiting to come to fruition. Because when we have enough momentum and experience behind us, we're just lining them up and knocking them down, you know. So it's going to be this spot. Then what's the next spot will probably be either St. Martin or Ocean Springs, right? Something like that. And I'd like for us to move west, you know, towards Gulfport and Long Beach and that area, because, you know, there's nothing, even less stuff over that way. And then I could go skate after work easier. Yeah. So.
It's like, yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's at the last Wednesday night, there was a guy from Gulfport who's like, man, I've talked to the mayor, I've talked to all kinds of people from Gulfport, but I've been trying to get a skate park going there for years. And like, so, and I'm not trying to be antagonistic, but I was like, so you haven't heard of us, right? You know, that's what we do. We advocate. We do these events and programs to show what skateboarding does. And I want to be there, right there with you, man, where our biggest, our new concern is, where do we put this old equipment, and what community can we bless up? And I want to get that skate park built. And so, and there's been some significant steps forward in that project as well. So there was some paperwork that was sent over to us. I know we reviewed it, and that was, I think they went to get that resolution that's been proposed to get signed, right? By, what's that?
OS?
That's a different project. No, I'm talking about the one in Biloxi. MDOT MDOT owns that area. The Mississippi Department of Transportation owns that area and is giving over rights to the city and Biloxi Main Street to develop it into a skate park. And so that's like the most important or most significant next step is that part. So things are heading in the right direction. You know, it's always funding is going to be the thing. Yeah. But I didn't ask you about that part. I was just asking you, what would you do if money was no option? So I'm there with you, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a critical mass point eventually where the only holdup for us is going to be time. Yeah. You know, because it'll take on a life of its own. It'll have investors, and we're working up that hill, and we'll get there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we once we get to that point where it's a city-backed project endorsed, that's really what this piece of paper is doing, is showing that they want that, and then the doors are wide open for all kinds of funding, and we can point. Every time we apply for grants, you know, we're looking to show it's a city-backed project, and that's one way to do it. Sorry, dude, these cookies are good.
No, they're delicious. Thank you.
No problem, man.
I'm just holding off. I don't want to have the sounds of chewing on my mic, but
R.I.P. Because I've been just chewing. So,
actually, does it pick up? I don't even know if it would.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So,
Okay, screw it.
Well, man, I think this is a pretty organic stopping point. I think we've covered a lot of good stuff. I think that people connect with stories, and I appreciate you sharing your stories, man, with me about how you got into GCSA skateboarding. So I'm just gonna outro us then. So okay, like I said in the beginning of this, if you've made it to this point, you probably ought to subscribe, join the community, and let us know what you think of skateboarding on the Gulf Coast. So jump in the comments and let us know. You can also follow us on social media. We got Facebook, Instagram, and we're here on YouTube. And if you're looking for a deeper way or more ways to contribute to the effort to help grow the skateboarding community down here on the Gulf Coast and to help us to build these free public and develop these free public access to skate parks, you can go to our website, gulfcoastskateparksassociation.org. That's where you can contribute. You can also see projects that we're working on in the area and leave us feedback on our website, and we go through and use that feedback to help us develop the kind of skate parks that y'all want to see in your communities. All right, well, thanks for watching. Peace.